I just got a notification that you just went live, so
Cool.
I think it works.
Well, hopefully people can hear us.
I can hear.
And of course, now we go live and it gets windy. Right.
Ooh, that's a nice bike. Sorry, I was raised on Harleys, so.
Were you really?
Yeah, my dad is a tattoo artist, Harley riding, stereotypical tattoo artist. He's awesome.
I got to bring up our comment thing here in case anybody jumps on and gives us any comments.
Everybody's going to jump on and be like, "Who is this? Can you return her?" You'd be like, "Yeah, don't worry. Give it 2 days. She'll be back."
She'll be back. All right, well, welcome everybody. We're here at the Ghost of Glow Paracon 2.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
I'm sitting here with Kendra.
Hi, I'm Kendra.
And I'm Keith with RCJ Productions.
K squared, if you will.
K squared. For today, anyway.
For today.
So how's it going?
It is great. It's not hot. We're having fun. There's so many people here. I'm loving it. How about you?
It's a beautiful day. I will have any chance to come up to go.
That's true.
We come up here on the weekends just to hang out and not even ghost time. Just come up to visit.
See, I need to do that more often. I feel like I don't do that enough. And Globe is just, you can walk around with all the historic sites without having to be part of the Paracons.
Right.
And that would be really fun to do on an off day.
Yep. And I love what they do around Halloween time up here too. It's a lot of fun.
I haven't been.
Have you done the ghost walk?
No.
I
Is it
haven't
awesome?
either. I haven't done it.
Oh, you just
definitely have because every time they have it, we have something going on. So
that's true.
But we definitely have to get up here and do that because it's, from what I hear, it's a lot of fun. So
you realize both your names start with K.
That's why we're. I was gonna say you can't hear anything.
So we do have some guests coming up.
We are going to have SPI Gaston from SPI. They are the only TAPS affiliated group in Arizona. He's going to come up here and talk a little bit about his book. We also have the PAPS team, Phoenix, Arizona Paranormal Society. They are great. We love them. They'll be up here shortly as well.
Cool.
We got Tony and Cherie from EVPI coming on to talk about their Staticom a little bit, which will be incredible. Obviously, they're always incredible.
I definitely want to go see their demo today.
I know.
For sure.
I'll let you do it this time.
You'll let me do
last
it?
time.
Okay.
Yeah. We took
Appreciate
turns.
that.
Drop us a comment if you are just joining us live. So say hey.
Give a chance for people to jump on.
Yeah, exactly. Look at all these people. It's so nice. I wish you guys could see what we see. Just people. There's so many different. I said this already, but I'm going to say it again on the live. There's so many different kinds of people here, and I love it. I love seeing different kinds of people celebrating one thing.
And honestly, if you're local, you still have plenty of time to come out because we're here until 5 today. So you got plenty of time. Get in your car. It's a beautiful day. Come on down. Check it out.
Half the places around here, you don't even need to get in your car. Walk
That's
on
true.
down.
Just walk on down.
Come join us.
Wouldn't that be cool?
To just be able
walk.
to, yeah, I was gonna say to be able to walk wherever you go. I live just a little too far from the town center where I am, but if that's a good thing, because I'd be at that coffee shop
all the time.
All my money would go to that coffee shop.
Yeah.
So we're talking a little bit about, or we're not talking a little bit about Kendra Cheese. This is all about our paranormal convention.
I was trying to figure out where you're going with that. I'm like, where is she going?
Talking a little bit about the paranormal. No, this is all about paranormal.
100%.
So tell us, how long have you been into the paranormal and how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing it since 2019.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I was shocked to find that out.
Still a newbie.
Yeah, you and Lindsay, when I first met you guys, I wouldn't have guessed that. Like, you guys seemed really seasoned in this. I would have never, and I met you guys in like 2021 maybe?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. So I would have never guessed that. When you guys told me, I was shocked.
Well, maybe because we always had a fascination with it.
Yeah.
So maybe it helped.
Yeah, and you guys learn really quickly too. Yeah. So it didn't, like, you guys knew what you were doing and it was fun to watch.
And you have to be open to learning. You have to be open to learning new things and you know, kind of like what we talked about earlier, not going in with the attitude that you know everything.
Oh, 100%.
So I think that helps.
No matter if you've been doing this for, I said this in my talk, Vinny has been doing this for he's like 35 years. You've been doing it for 5 years now, something
Vinny's
like that.
35 years old. He looks great.
I
don't think you heard that.
No, it was puppy.
Squirrel.
Yeah, sorry. There's another dog. So you've got Vinny, who's been doing this for 35 years. You guys have been in it for 5 years. I've been doing it for like 15 years. And I've learned stuff from you guys You guys have learned stuff from me. Like
yeah, we feed off of each other.
Everybody feeds off each other, no matter how long you've been doing it. You guys have gotten new gear that you've showed me about, and Vinny's creating new gear left and right.
Yep.
I think that it's a great learning curve for everybody. I'm getting distracted by the dog. I'm so sorry. This is why I can't live podcast.
We need to put up some blinders for you here.
I know, because it's Lindsay over there, the dog's over here. I got ADHD. Oh, and then there's a baby with a little monkey. How cute is that? You are so cute. Hi.
He's looking.
Hi. Oh my God, he's so cute.
Yeah, there's no wind all day.
I know.
The wind kicks up.
I was just thinking that. This is becoming an ASMR channel.
Right.
At this point.
We may have to actually tie the sandbags onto the legs here in a little bit.
If it hits the thing just right. Well, I mean, Vinny's tent blocking us too.
Yeah, that's true. We should be okay.
Let me make sure. Oh, Roger's texted me 3 times. Look at me being a good podcaster and not responding.
I'm telling you.
Tapioca, strawberry, blueberry, mango, or
I got a
rainbow.
bug flying around my face.
Oh my goodness.
Wave hi to Candace.
I love your hat.
Wow, thank you.
It's making the whole outfit. It makes the whole outfit just perfect.
I did it in an hour.
Stop it.
That's
really?
pretty good.
That is awesome. Holds it all together.
1 hour.
So we got a couple of people watching. Give us a comment. Say hi.
Yeah.
Did you share it?
I'm sharing it again.
Okay. I think I can share it. Let me see if I can do it.
Black tea with milk and regular boba, please.
That sounded weird.
Is that
Oh,
your
it's my mom.
I
Yeah.
figured. Do you get to go see the dogs today? I heard you.
She's gonna go babysit the dogs, the puppy dogs.
I am dog centered. I'm telling you, if somebody had a big white van that said free puppies on the side, that's how you kidnap me. 100%. Candy, no thank you. I mean, other things maybe, but you got free puppies in there, count me in.
I'm gonna share this real quick.
Look at that. Our quality is pretty good for what we have.
It is. What do you mean for what we have? We have professional equipment here. I don't know what you're talking about.
I meant the Wi-Fi connection.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was afraid that it would be a little iffy out here, but it's not.
It's so far it's good. It's going good. I like it.
I met them yesterday and I'm in love. I might steal the cat when I go home though. Don't tell anybody.
Well, I thought I heard you say that you're considering moving back here just because of the dogs. Wendy would like that.
Oh my God. I'm moving in just so I can use the podcast studio. It's so nice.
Yeah.
God,
We got a good setup.
Yeah, you guys have a great setup. I'm sharing it. It's not letting me share it. Oh, maybe if I press this button. There we go.
Now you can share it.
There we go.
If you hear a lot of stuff going on in the background, there's construction going on across the street, and it sounded like somebody was banging on a drum.
They put in new windows over there, which look very nice. Is that weird? Like is that how you know you're becoming an adult? When you look over at the windows and go, wow, those are some nice windows. That would be great. So let's announce some of our speakers that we have coming up.
Yeah, so we have talking about dowsing rods. I love dowsing rods. Those are cool.
See, I don't know enough about them to be like, oh, those are awesome. I got to learn more. After that, we have Sonorum Paranormal, which is our SPI. Gaston's going to be in there reviewing some case files. He's going to be over at our baggage depot, which if you're in person is over to my right. I'm excited to hear about that. I think that'll be awesome.
That will be cool.
We got some raffles going on if you guys are in person. We're just going to say that real quick. We'll go over those in a little bit, but definitely check those out. Damn, I did it again. I have a question in my head, and then I go to ask it, and it's gone. What happened? How do I do that?
I've been sitting here in anticipation, and you lost it.
Like Rocky Horror. Anticipation. That would have been bad if that's.
You know, Talk about history. This place has a lot of history. Very cool.
Can you imagine? Like, see, inside there's a picture of the train right behind the depot and all of the guys standing on the train around it. And that was from 1916, I believe, when this first opened. And you just think, like, this is a big piece of history. This was the first railroad over here, like putting the train depot. How many people came in and out of here, going who knows where, doing who knows what? It's just.
Well, it was one of the main stopping points between California, right? And
Yep.
At one point. So I know they brought some soldiers back from the war.
Did they? I didn't know that.
They were brought back to here. Yep.
You got to think too, like with that part of it, you got families here waiting to see their loved ones that they haven't seen in God knows how long. And they don't know what condition they're in. And you bring them back, and just the emotion that comes along with that is just.
Now, are these tracks active still?
No.
They're not.
Which I found out by standing on them and saying, "Hey, are these train tracks still active?" And everybody said no, which was good because I was standing directly on them. But I kind of wish they were, because I think that would add so much to the town, like seeing the train still coming past the depot, cool, and like you know, it would be cool. But obviously, I like her shirt. Sorry, I get so distracted.
Squirrel.
This is why I'm not allowed to do things.
You got to put Kendra in a booth.
No, we talked about doing a podcast for something else. I don't even remember. And somebody said, if you're going to do it with Kendra, she's got to be blindfolded and facing the wall. Over caffeinated and overstimulated.
They do in the park over here. I got my bearings off probably, but they have that steam engine over there, which is really cool. Have you ever gone over to see it? It's parked over there.
What? Where
very
is
cool.
that?
I think it's right around the corner over here.
Oh, I'll have to go check that out.
It's
I didn't even
cool.
know they had that.
Yep.
I need to venture out in Globe more, because Globe is so history rich and there's so much to see here. And I've obviously not done that. I go from the jail to the brothel back here and the Y in Miami. I don't venture out enough. And I think I need to start doing that.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like there's a lot.
I mean, Globe's a small town, but it's really not a small. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is small, but there's a lot here.
Absolutely.
For being small.
So in just a couple minutes here, we're going to have Gaston from SPI come on and talk to you about his book a little bit.
Cool.
Which will be awesome. Get to hear a little bit about that. But before that happens, what are you most looking forward to today?
That's tough.
Right?
That's really tough. I don't know. Why do you got to put me on the spotlight, John?
Because I feel like you've been putting me on the spot, but I just come up with an answer.
I
and
have
then
not.
I look back and I'm like, does that even make sense? No, it didn't make sense.
I'm really actually looking forward to Tony and Sheree, because I have firsthand experience witnessing, the direct radio, what they now call Staticom.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating to me. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome to see. Like, if you guys, for those of you that are here, and even those of you online, if you have not seen it, you definitely want to make it inside for that presentation, because it's mind-blowing. It's phenomenal. And like Keith said, like, actually seeing it firsthand and being a part of it is awesome.
Yeah. Experience, it's pretty cool.
Especially because I feel like the first time that I really experienced it was at the Shanley, and I wasn't familiar enough with it, I don't think. So it was blowing my mind even more, just because but there was so much to focus on. So you gotta work with it a lot, I think, just to kind of get a handle on it. But 5 minutes, Debbie Branning. Gotcha. We are going to have Debbie Branning as our next speaker. She will be up in 5 minutes. I'm sorry, I took your job for a second. She's going to be talking about the dowsing rods and showing us how those work.
Which are very cool, by the way, if you've never seen them work.
They're the ones where you hold them and they cross, right? Okay. Do you know how they work?
I have a little bit of experience with them, not enough to say.
Gotcha.
I'm an aficionado at it, but
all the more reason to attend her talk.
Yes.
And see. Is that your dad?
I can't read it. I'm blind, so you'll have to read the comments.
Dan Davidson. Hi, Kathleen.
No, you can't read it either, can you?
No, I can.
Oh, Lindsay's on
Oh
too.
my God, our friend Lindsay is on. Lindsay, how are you? We haven't seen you in months. You are not 10 feet away from me.
So going back to the direct radio voice that we heard for the first time.
She said hi, K squared. I get
Oh,
it
see,
now. I
that's
didn't
good.
read it. Look at that. We have
Are you ready?
Gaston from SPI. Come on over.
Come on over. I'll scoot out of the way.
Go ahead and have a seat.
Well, thank you very much.
Would you
for
like headphones so
inviting
you
me
can
over.
hear? Or
I'm
are
fine.
you good? Okay, cool.
So this is your microphone. Go ahead and if you need to adjust it, you can adjust it for
Okay.
sure. So this is Gaston from SPI. They are the only TAPS affiliated group in Arizona currently. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Awesome.
We cover the entire state, and we are SPI stands for Sonoran Paranormal Investigations. So even though the name sounds like we're from Tucson only, no,
Right.
we cover the whole state.
Awesome. And you do have a book out currently. Is that correct?
Yes, I authored a book called Advanced Haunting Investigation. And the reason I wrote it is I looked at the books that are available out there for this purpose, and they're all very basic. And they don't cover things like protection, like how to walk spirits into the light. What's the theory behind hauntings? How do they happen? Why do they happen?
Right.
What are the different kinds? All those kinds of topics that other books don't cover. That's why I wrote the book. But it's good for novices as well as experienced people, because everybody will.
Right.
And it's available on Amazon.com. That's Advanced Haunting Investigation. Or if you happen to be here today at the Paracon, you can pick up your copy for only $10.
Oh, very good.
That's awesome. And they can have it signed here, correct?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's part of the fun about being
Yeah.
here, right?
So how long have you been doing paranormal investigating?
My wife and I have been doing it for about 13 years.
Okay.
We started it on our own, going to hotels and that were purportedly haunted and stuff like that. But that gets very expensive, and you do a lot of traveling.
Right.
So we decided to join a group. So we. Okay.
We'll get you a little here. We can lower the microphone a little bit too.
You,
Okay.
you can yell like Kendra does.
All
It's-
right.
it's not a-
I'm inherently loud, so
Okay. So we joined the group because it was a TAPS oriented, group, no nonsense, spirit, scientifically based.
right.
And our first investigation, residential investigation, was a fairly active one. We got a lot of evidence and stuff, and we were hooked. So we stayed with them, and over the years, I've grown into the position of co-director with the group.
nice. And how do people find you if they need to reach out to you guys?
We have a website, the internet. It's sonoranpi.com.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah,
And
that's
they reach out directly.
SonoranPI.com.
And you can read all about us, what we do, how we do it, why we do it, all those sorts of things. And you can request an investigation. You can also petition us for membership if you're interested in joining us.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Talk about protecting. That's an interesting point that you brought up. I think a lot of people go in not realizing they need some sort of protection.
Yes. We insist that all of our members, before we go into an investigation site, they do some ritual of protection. This topic gets into religious territory really
Right.
fast. So we provide kind of a sanitized version of a protection ritual as a starting point for people. But everybody over time develops their own. But the important thing is that you do get protection from a higher source, which, to me is God,
Right.
right? Because you never know what you're walking into when you investigate. It could be demonic, it could be bad, human, but bad. And so by protecting yourself, it's not going to hurt you. Nothing's going to follow you home or to work, which sometimes happens.
Right.
And yeah, that's a very important aspect of it, is to protect yourself.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah, no, I I've had deep conversations with many people about the importance of not only protecting yourself before an investigation, but also after, kind of reminding the spirits that, you have your space, I have mine. Let's live in peace, but you can't come with me. Stay
Right.
there.
And you hear stories, I've heard a lot in the little
Mhm.
experience that we've had of stuff following people home. Not necessarily
Yes.
evil or anything like that, but just to get an attachment, because they probably reach out saying, hey, this person's talking to me, communicating, I'm going to go with them, or
Right.
hang out with them for a little bit.
And workers don't appreciate it.
Right.
No,
Right.
no.
Yeah. Right.
I feel like it's quite a skill too, to be able to say after however many years, after 15 years for me, I've never had anything follow me, knock on wood,
No.
like you, it's important for your sanity as well as the people around you to just kind of make sure.
Right.
Yeah. They can read all about that in the book, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Very cool.
And you are giving a talk today, is that correct?
Yes, I'm going to share with people some highlights of our more interesting cases. The bulk of our cases, being residential, are you get the usual, some EVPs and maybe wrapping on the wall and that sorts of thing. And they're very important because we can explain to the client what's happening in their home, whether they're safe or not, that sort of thing, and who's there and why, and maybe help them move on, cross over to the other side. That's sort of, so I'm not belittling them. They're the bulk of our work, and frankly, the most important part of our work. Right? But the more interesting cases, of course, are the ones that have a lot of more phenomena or have a demonic content to them or something like that. So I'm going to be talking about some of those types of cases today.
Okay.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for talking with us
Thank
today.
you very much.
We
A pleasure.
appreciate it. Everybody go check out the SPI booth. It is, if you're in person, it is over to the left of us. Definitely check them out. They've got some great information on different kinds of equipment. And as Gaston said, his book is available over there.
Okay.
Thank you
very
so much.
Thank you so much.
Happy ghost hunting.
Yeah, same to you.
Thank you. Well, there you have it. You guys have SPI, great group over there. I enjoyed that. I'm look forward to hearing more. Oh my God, that's an actual puppy.
Yep, that's a puppy.
Ooh, I'm so sorry, guys. I get so distracted by
Squirrel.
puppies. But that is a puppy. Oh my God, stop. So cute.
Maybe we should bring the puppy over here for you to pet.
I know. I'm like, hi, I like your puppy. You feel free to come on over if you want.
The puppy can be live on Facebook.
Live and in person. You guys thought you were just going to see our faces and our guests. Well, surprise, there's
We'll have
puppies.
a guest puppy. So let me ask you, have you ever been in a residential experience?
So yes and no. So we used to live in this apartment, right? And it's a 2-bedroom apartment. It was my mom, my little sister, and I. And my mom, my little sister, and I slept in the same bedroom because my sister and I refused to go into the back master bedroom because there was something back there. And we knew it. But that's our residence. I haven't been in other residences that are like, oh, maybe that's.
So you've never done an investigation in somebody's house?
Neither have I. I would like to, because I feel like residential areas are less frequently investigated,
Right.
Which kind of gives you a better. Sorry, I let the bike go by. It gives you a better idea of like when you get evidence, like you can go over it better. I personally, so when I go into places, I don't like hearing about like what goes on there.
Ahead of time, right?
Yeah, everybody's
right.
like, oh, like in this specific bedroom, people hear 3 knocks specifically.
Well, it forms a certain sense of bias in a way.
Oh my goodness. Everybody, this is our next guest. Oh my God, you are so soft. What's her name? This is Cody. And oh my God. Kodiak. Oh my God.
Look at those eyes.
I know, that was the first
Beautiful
thing I saw.
eyes.
You have the most beautiful eyes. What is it? A husky lab?
He's a 76% husky and then 11% Irish setter.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Irish setter.
Hi. We're just totally in love. Okay, I'm sorry. I will get back to the basics. You are so cute.
Thank you for bringing them by.
Um,
You made Kendra's day.
I know, really. But yeah, so I don't like going into a place and hearing the exact specifics of what's going on there, because then I feel like I'm waiting for it to happen.
Well, you form a sense of bias too at that point because you're
Exactly.
expecting, So
100%. So
Yeah.
I would I would rather go into a place blind than, I mean, like sometimes I like to have a little bit of like, is there anything like I should be aware of kind of thing. But I'd like to go into places blind better because I feel like I investigate better. I feel like I get more evidence. I prefer it. What about you?
I would love to do it. I've never done a residential. I would love to, but it also, at the same time, it kind of scares the hell out of me because first of all, I would never do it without somebody more experienced than me. I would never just open myself up to somebody's house because I wouldn't claim that I can help, like he was saying, have spirits cross over or anything like that. I would never be able to do something like that. But what's scary is if you get the wrong person that goes into a house, they can scare the daylights out of a homeowner, to the point of forcing them to move or, you could uproot somebody's life for something that may not be paranormal.
Exactly.
And that's what scares me about going into it. But to your point, I would love to go in just because it is an untapped resource. It's not, you don't have team after team after team investigating it. So it's kind of your thing, you're the first ones in there.
There is also that aspect of, I mean, I've heard friends of mine who are investigators say over and over again, sometimes the people are scarier than what you're faced with. Right. You don't know going into a residential situation, you don't know who you're going in, whose house you're going into. Right. Yep. Like for all I know, I could be walking into Ted Bundy's house and I would have no idea, So you have to be careful with that too, obviously. But you get that untapped resource. Mm-hmm. And I think it would definitely be cool. There are a couple of like famous residentials that I still would do. Like the Conjuring House, just for the experience, just to say like, oh yeah, I got to do the Conjuring House. But I don't know.
Just talk to Tony about that.
Did you guys get to do the Conjuring House? Oh my gosh, I want to go. We have our next guest. Awesome.
I'll move and then she can sit on the bike too. So I just have to meet you guys. Kendra's the interviewer, so okay.
That is not true.
She's better than I am. That's nice to say. Go ahead, have a seat. 2 mics.
Oh, thank you.
So I think we should just start. You guys go ahead and introduce yourselves and who you're with. Yeah, you guys got to get pretty close to the mics. Go ahead and introduce yourselves and tell us who you're with and a little bit about yourselves.
Okay, I'm Laura, and I'm with the Phoenix, Arizona Paranormal Society, and I've been with them for 12 years as a lead investigator, and I started out as a researcher.
Nice.
And I'm Jamie with also the Phoenix, Arizona Paranormal Society. Been with this group for about 10 years, and it's been a lot of fun.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit how you guys got started with the paranormal.
I think our theory is you're kind of born with an interest in the paranormal. And so I was born with an interest. I've always been into what is it that people are seeing that other people can't see. I've never really had a personal experience until I started investigating, but just that interest and also wanting to help people that are having issues in their life regarding paranormal events. That kind of got me into the team. I paid to go on a ghost tour one night and ended up being hired onto the team within a couple weeks. So.
That is awesome. Yeah, I'm glad that you say that, you think people are born with it.
Yeah.
Because I think the same thing. I think children are inherently born with a connection to the paranormal. And I believe that they're shut down by people around them.
Yes.
And that's why they can't develop it. I was never, like when I was a kid and I would see something, people would be like, oh, what'd you see? I was never shut down. So that's why I developed mine. But I'm glad that you said that because I feel like not many people think that way.
Well, as a society, I don't think it's really accepted. I think it's more accepted now.
Mm-hmm.
But as a society, when I was growing up, you didn't talk about that stuff. It was ridiculous.
Absolutely.
And there's still that stigma with it, but it's becoming much more open now. Which is great.
Absolutely. Jamie?
Here, turn around here real quick. Yeah, same thing. I think, I was kind of born with the interest in the paranormal, all things paranormal. Paranormal is a huge umbrella of things. So I grew up in a small town in the Midwest, but with a lot of old buildings.
Mhm.
So I was really interested in what's in those buildings, and then I got interested in what's in the sky at night, where those things flying around. I know there's something there. So I was really interested in UFOs and ghosts as a child, and then moved down to Phoenix. You just get more interested. That's something that never really leaves you.
Yeah.
Your interest in the paranormal. So, but 12 years ago, then started joining the group PAPS, which has been around for about 20, a little over 20 years now.
And tell us a little bit about PAPS. Do you guys do mostly residential? Do you do more tours? What do you guys do?
PAPS does about 95% of their investigations are residential cases. About 10 to 15 emails a week from homeowners or renters or whatever, requesting our assistance in their houses. They think something's there.
Absolutely.
We go out anywhere from 3 to 4, maybe sometimes 5 times a month, mainly, Friday, Saturday nights.
Absolutely.
Because we all work Monday to Friday, have day jobs, so we can't go out any more than that. And, obviously we don't go out to as many homes as we get requests for, just because there's just so many. We don't do we don't do apartments or townhomes. That's
Okay.
one of the things. So we get a lot of requests for those, but we just don't do it.
And where can people find you guys? Are you guys on social media? You have a website?
Yep. Facebook. We're on Facebook, and we do have a website, Phoenix, Arizona Paranormal Society.com. Also a YouTube channel. So every investigation we do, whether it's a home case or a tour, because we also do tours, that's going to be our YouTube channel. So everybody can follow and like us and watch all our YouTube channels. So usually about a week or two after we're done with the investigation, the videos are out.
Awesome. And you guys do lead some tours. Is that correct? I've seen before that you guys do some tours.
Yeah, they vary throughout the year depending on location, but those are all posted on our website as well and available to the public.
Awesome.
So, and that money usually goes to help with the location, maintenance.
Awesome. Yeah.
Fundraisers for the locations. Like in the past, we've done the Gilbert Museum
Oh,
in
awesome.
Gilbert, Arizona, and the Pioneer Museum in North Phoenix, the Living History Museum. We've done that in the past, and a couple other places downtown Mesa. And we're working right now on a couple other places.
You guys
in
recently did the
Phoenix.
Orpheum too, right? Or one of the theaters down there?
No, we didn't do the Orpheum.
Oh, okay.
We will be at Dodge Theater,
That's
not as a tour, but investigating.
yeah, investigating.
But we might try to get something with them and see if they do tours. They're really interested in what's going on at Dodge Theater, so that would
That's
be great.
awesome.
If we can come together and get a tour together at Dodge Theater, that would be fantastic, because I think a
Yeah.
lot of people would be interested in that.
Is there anything that specifically sticks out to you guys as like a most memorable moment in your paranormal investigating careers?
Miss Laura's got a good one.
Do you mean like something that's happened?
Yeah, anything that's just like made it very memorable.
Oh, well, something that was scary for me was I was on, not with the team, not with PAPS, but just on a tour, a public tour on the Queen Mary in Long Beach.
Yep.
And we were down in the quote unquote vortex of the ladies changing room, which is down in the bottom of the boat in the swimming pool area. And there was a thick shadow figure that flew up into my face and blocked my vision out for a few seconds. So I was literally blinded by this blackness, almost like a garbage bag flying into my face. And I was so scared, and I wanted to scream, but you can't scream and run in the middle of a ghost hunt,
Mhm.
So I was trying to keep it together, and I thought, okay, well, if something touches me, then I'm going to scream and I'm out. And it slowly withdrew, and I could finally kind of see from the corners of my eyes, and then my vision came back and really shook me up. And I thought, I'm never ever doing this again. So, but that stuck with me a lot, because losing your sight, you're lost, you're done.
Absolutely.
So-
How did that affect you going forward in your paranormal career? Did it make you a little more hesitant to kind of get into it?
Yeah, absolutely. But then you get your feet back again.
Absolutely.
After a few more investigations, when things are a little bit calmer and you're in somebody's home, it's not as scary.
Yeah.
So, and I was so shaken up after I walked away from that event that I walked into an iron beam and nearly knocked myself out.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah, it was
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it was awesome. But, you keep that in your back pocket for the future.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we're always a respectful team. I think that has a lot to do with it. We never go in antagonizing. So
Yeah, that's very respectful. You get those groups that'll kind of antagonize just to try and get something, and I mean that's not my thing.
no.
If people do it, it's
Yeah,
going to be what they do.
You know,
But
there's a time and a place. place.
Exactly.
Sometimes we get a little mouthy depending on where we are and what we're doing and what we're dealing with.
Absolutely.
So, but there is a time and a place, and usually in people's homes where we are, that's not the right spot to do it.
It has not been windy all day, and then we go live, and this wind comes out of nowhere. Do you guys want to talk a little bit about the raffle that you have going on?
Oh, yes. We are raffling off a couple of goodie boxes. Well, we got some selenite. We got a haunted globe book signed by Debbie Branding.
It's a cool book. It really is.
We got a little light show, light grid light, laser light, and some cat balls and some a pendulum with a little like a communication board. All this kind of stuff we just put together.
Ghost hunting smorgasbord.
Yeah, just
awesome.
And just some other little fun stuff.
And you guys can pick up those raffle tickets over at their booth. Again, if you're in person, it's to the left of us diagonally. Blue tent top. I know there's a lot of those, but you'll see it back there. Raffle tickets are $1, and they are the proceeds are going to the Globe Main Street Project, correct?
That's right. That's correct.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so
and
much.
And we're probably going to be drawing names around 4:00.
Awesome. Perfect.
You don't have to be present to win.
Put down their phone number.
Yeah,
and
they put down their phone number and their name, and I'll probably call them, and we'll get it to them somehow.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Enjoy all of this and the weather.
Awesome. It's great.
Keep the wind away.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm back.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest, Keith, also known as K Squared.
K Squared, I like that.
If anybody is just joining us either on live or here at the Paracon, my name is Kendra.
And I'm Keith.
And we are live podcasting from the 2023 Ghosts of Globe Paracon
2. Deuce.
Second one. You guys liked us so much the first time, we came back again.
There's a lot of 2s here today, right? 2Ks, second Paracon. Good things come in pairs, right?
I was just about to say that, but you I was like, well, good things come in pairs. No, it's fine. I'll get over it. Ignore me. Stop it. Oh, you're so cute.
She loves puppies.
I love dogs. I'm distracted easily.
But you said every dog's a puppy, so I just said you love puppies.
See, it's so cute.
It's coming over to you.
I love puppies and babies. Who doesn't? Come on.
She loves people.
Hi.
That's a good thing.
Oh, you're so cute. You're like, oh my gosh, I want pets from everybody. Hi. Oh, hi. I'm living my best life with all these dogs here today.
You're around paranormal dogs, you're good to go.
It's like my two favorite things. Everybody's on live is about to witness this for the first time.
Oh.
But I don't like boba. I like the popping bubbles that are like the strawberry ones. And Roger's over there like, I just got her boba. What is she talking about? But I don't like it. But I'm trying to expand my palate more and more. So I'm going to try it.
So what is boba? I mean, I've had it on frozen yogurt because I'll put it as a topping.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Yeah. What exactly is it? What's it made of?
Those ones are made of, I think, like rice paper and then the filling inside.
What's the filling?
Well, it depends on what flavor you get.
Okay.
So it's like a strawberry like jam thing. But these, like original boba, they're tapioca, which
Those
I
are
guess
huge.
I know. That's why the straw's so big. They're tapioca balls, and I don't like tapioca, and I think the texture is weird. We're about to experience this together.
Well, Lindsay was asking why you had balls in your drink, but I wasn't sure what she really meant by that.
They're yours.
Boba in you. Sorry, this is a family show. We got to keep it clean.
This is a family show. Or is it?
Or is it? I don't have sound effects programmed in this thing yet. Oh, she's making a face.
It doesn't really have any flavor.
You almost made a Lindsay whiskey face there.
You want to try it?
Not really.
They're chewy, like
Yeah,
Play-Doh.
that's enough to turn me off of a drink. Hey, Roger, thanks for not getting me one. Save me the headache.
I think if they were like the popping ones, they'd be a little better.
A lot of people like it though. I mean, it's very popular.
My sister loves it. I feel like I can't chew it all the way.
Is it healthy for you though?
Probably not. I
I
think
mean,
it's
they're
pure
putting it in
sugar.
tea.
I think it's pure sugar though.
It's a lot of sugar then.
It's delicious.
You're not very convincing.
It tastes like when you get chicken and dumplings, but the dumplings aren't cooked all the way, and then they're covered in gravy.
So it's doughy, real doughy. Don't gag on the show.
I'm not.
Got to keep the microphones clean.
Do we though? It's delicious. I like the milk tea part of it.
Hmm.
I'm not a fan of the boba part of it.
So who's our next guest? Who's coming up?
That one was your job.
We get Tony back on.
We do. Tony and Sheree. You guys want to come over and have a chat with us on live after
They're
they eat?
They're eating.
When they eat.
Okay.
Well, of course we got them right when they were eating. That's what we tend to do.
You guys aren't drinking boba too, are you? Okay.
I didn't mean to get another boba ball.
It's another dog. A lot of puppies out here today. Look at that.
It's because it's so nice. It's absolutely the perfect weather to have a Paracon.
Who do we have coming up? We got somebody else coming up soon, don't we?
Oh.
Yeah, you have the list.
I'm sorry. What time is it? It's 12:41, which means at 12:55 we have Sonoran Paranormal over in the baggage depot, which if you are in person is to my right. They will be reviewing some of their more high-profile cases, which will be pretty interesting to hear.
Yeah.
I think.
Yep.
I did it again.
So, that's all right. I have a question for you.
Thank you.
So what would you asked me earlier, what would you say your most interesting investigation you've ever been on?
Jeez, that one's hard because I feel like, see, locations, if I could combine all of the evidence into one night, that would be off the chain. I think my very first investigation up here in Globe is probably just like the most memorable because I was up here, I went to the jail, investigated for a while, and then I went down to the YMCA in Miami, and I had been in there. It was the very first time I'd ever investigated here. Been in there for like 5 minutes, not even. We went up to the auditorium, and I had my on, and about 42 seconds in, when I was recording or reviewing evidence.
Reverse.
Yeah, when I was reviewing evidence, I heard 42 seconds in a very clear whisper that we did not hear with our ears. So I reached out to Vinny and I was like, hey, I need the footage so I can just like make sure it wasn't you guys talking. And it wasn't them. And it turns out it was an actual EVP that I caught. And Kevin had been talking and he had said, like, there's 2 new people in here. Can you do something to let them know that you're here? And as clear as day, the whisper was a man saying, I already told you I was here. And it's like, blew my mind because I'd never caught such a clear EVP in like a full sentence.
Sorry.
Yeah, it blew my mind.
That's pretty cool. You just made me think of another piece of evidence that we collected, and it was over at the courthouse. And it was really fascinating because we were sitting on, so there's a central stairwell that goes up to the different levels. Oops, sorry. I should probably mute that one.
I was going to say.
So we're sitting kind of up at the first level, in between the first level and the second level. And actually Karen was with us when we were there. So we had the spirit box going and we were just recording it. I had my recorder going. And at one point we heard what we thought was a little girl.
Oh, I remember you telling
Came
me
across and said, "Mommy," and it was crazy. But what was crazier than that was maybe 30 seconds later, we heard whistling come through the spirit box.
Whistling,
like somebody just
like a tune or just
like somebody just kind of imagine like a janitor sweeping up the floor and he's just kind of whistling to himself. That's really what it came out like, and it was freaking nuts. I mean, I couldn't believe we caught it. And we heard it clear as day there, but then when we went back and played the recording, we definitely solidified what we heard.
Wow.
But the whistling was nuts. It was crazy.
Have you've been in the YMCA before, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you guys are in the YMCA tonight, or if you ever get the chance to go, one of the main things that happens there is usually we'll be downstairs and we hear a whistle and we follow it. And anytime we follow it, it starts to get further and further. It leads us into the back bedroom in the back corner. And then you'll hear the whistle again once you get back there and you're cornered in from the opposite end of the hallway.
That's interesting.
Did you guys get to experience that?
No, we did not.
We've caught it on EVP a few times, but it's the same thing. Man, you tell he's just whistling, like calling us to him.
Right.
And we follow it, and it's always leading us to the back bedroom, and we get there, and then it.
Can I introduce you next people that are over there?
Yes, are they on right now? So we do have SPI, Sonoran Paranormal Investigations, coming up for our next speaker. They're going to be reviewing some of their more high-profile case files. That's so hard for me to say today.
So it's over at the baggage depot over there. Or
Just to
baggage
the
building.
right of the podcasting booth. Do you like how high up I have to have that so that I don't get any of the boba? My sister would be so disappointed in me.
I think you know what? You were telling me about your podcast idea. I think you should do a podcast just on boba.
Just about why it's disgusting. But see, the problem is those little ones that you get from the yogurt shop, those tiny boba, and I love those.
Yeah.
I could eat those. If I had gotten a mango tea or even just a regular black tea and put those in it, it would be ideal. But these are thick, like they're solid in the middle, like dough, which makes it not fun.
From here, they look like blueberries.
I know, right? And that's why it's deceiving.
You should hold up to the camera, show people.
It's deceiving.
So's the camera. Yes, it looks like
Like-
blueberries in there. It's not blueberries.
It's not. It's tapioca dough balls.
That's crazy.
But the milk tea itself is
good.
delicious.
You just need to strain out the balls.
That's what she said. You had to know you weren't getting by without one of those.
Oh my God.
So how has paranormal investigating changed, like any part of your life, like the way you think, the people you know, like how has it influenced your life?
It's introduced us to a lot of amazing people. It really has. People that we probably wouldn't have gotten to know prior to, you know.
It's a little sticker.
Oh, that's cute.
Look at how cute. Sorry, continue.
Was there a point in that? Or
I
you were
wanted
just-
one earlier.
Oh, so you got
But-
you one.
I don't know if you knew that, but now I have one.
There you go. Now you gonna wear it, or what are you gonna do with it?
Right on the forehead. I had a little ghost patch for my hat, but it fell off, so we're not gonna go. Oh, that's a cute.
Oh, you got one too.
match.
Oh, they're matching. Look at that.
You put it in your phone.
No, I gotta get a new phone case, so mine's broken. so-
Everything's better in two.
What's that song? The two is better than one song. I love that from
Sesame Street.
no
Oh,
What?
Sesame Street.
sorry, I just had to say that.
Hold on. I have it in my like.
Oh, Rod Stewart did a version of it.
No, not that one.
Tina Turner and Rod Stewart.
Oh shoot! I think it's Taylor Swift. I
Oh.
hope not. It's a dude that sings it.
Yeah, it was
It's Boys Like Girls featuring Taylor Swift.
not what I was thinking, but okay, we'll
Hold on,
we'll move
You'll-
on from there.
You'll know it if you hear the clip.
Don't know.
Really?
Nope, not what I was thinking.
Really? That's the one that it made me think of.
Thank you. I just dated myself. Anyway,
That one's an older song.
so getting back to how paranormal has changed my life. No, it's introduced us to a lot of great people. It really has, and it's made me realize too, and maybe I shouldn't say this at a place like this, but there's a lot of people out there that are doing it for the wrong reason.
I said that straight up in my talk.
Yeah, and I
I
see
named
that.
names.
And, oh, did you? Oh, I'm not going
No,
there.
I'm
but-
not. I think that people do it now for entertainment value, which if you want to do it for the entertainment value and that's all you want out of it and you just want to be famous for it and that's what you want, go ahead. That's on you.
But if
That's
you-
not why I do it.
But if you want to do it for entertainment, then go join a tour somewhere. Go do a tour, because, like we talked about before, how you leave a place has a bearing on how the next team is going to interact with whatever's there.
Mhm.
And if you go in there and just totally turn the place upside down, it's going to affect later on.
And
So
we've never said this. Yeah, we did.
yeah, we announced it. Yeah. You want to just let people. Let's remind people. So, Southern Paranormal coming on right 5 minutes, right? Yeah, 12:55. Talking about interesting case files over there at the baggage depot.
We're talking about doing it for the entertainment value, joining a tour.
No, talking about how you leave a place has an effect on the next group coming in.
Yes. So obviously I'm not going to go into too much detail about this, but we've experienced that within our own community in some places that we've investigated where people have gone in after us and their methods are so different from ours. And I think that's great. I think that every person should investigate differently because you're going to get different results every time.
Right.
But when you go in and purposely antagonize spirits and do so much that changes the entire vibe of the place, and then you let somebody else go in there who's made have a rapport with these spirits and has something that's gone for them now. And sometimes these people are working at it for years. There's one specific place that's happened with us, and it changed everything.
It's happened to the jail.
That's what I was.
Sorry.
No,
I was going to call it out. I mean,
it has.
The last time I went there, I saw a difference too. I mean,
the very first time that I was in there, it was one complete vibe, and we had they had already been in there for years before I even got there, but it was a vibe that was easy to work with. You build that rapport. You've got the door slamming on cue. You walk in, say hey, and they respond to you. And then the group goes in, does something completely unhinged, for lack of a better word, and you end up going in there, and now everything's different. And it's really disappointing because you've worked so hard to create that rapport, and it is disappointing, but it is what it is, man.
Well, and they got to know Vinny really well too, because being up there all the time, I'd say he's probably had the most interaction out of anybody.
Absolutely.
Out of our group in the jail.
The video, when you walk in, Vinny always says, hey, it's Vinny, and he immediately always gets a response.
Yep.
If you guys are on the live, drop us a comment. Hi, Joey.
Papa Joey's on.
If you guys are in the live, drop a comment. Let us know you're here so we can say hey. And if you're just joining us, whether you're in person or on the live, my name is Kendra.
I'm Keith.
We're K squared for today. I've just decided that.
Yep. Just like a half hour ago, you decided.
100%. Like we had been live, or we had been podcasting for an hour, and I was like, you know what? Both our names start with K.
And for the record, Kendra does not like boba.
I was just about to say
Is it boba? Boba? Boba. Okay.
Boba. I got a milk tea with boba, and I'm not eating the boba now. But
looks like blueberries.
But it tastes like dumplings. It's too much flour.
Oh my god.
I got one. It was an accident. They're really slippery too. Like they're slimy, so they just pop up the straw.
Hey, Lisa's on too, right, Lisa?
Hi, Lisa.
So we invited Tony and Shree over. I think they're still eating lunch, but they're going to come over and say hi to us here in a minute.
Got you. They're chilling.
They're chilling.
We'll be over in a minute to talk about Staticom radio, or it's not radio anymore. I was going to say direct
radio, or Staticom as it's now called.
Staticom.
Which, like we were saying before, when we first experienced.
It's wind, man.
It was not windy all morning, and now it gets windy. So
the second we went live, the wind was like, "Hey,
like, we're gonna get you." Our first experience with direct radio voice was pretty fascinating. I mean, we were up at the Shanley Hotel in upstate New York, and we were there with Ron and Lourdes, and they kicked it on, and it was just the only way I could describe it. It was like sitting in a crowded restaurant listening to several conversations going on at one time, and just like when you're in a restaurant, you may hear this couple over here or a couple over here, and then eventually you'll hear what they're saying. You're kind of tuned into what they're saying, and that's exactly how it seems to work.
Yeah,
we kept getting different conversations going on. It was pretty fascinating.
Yeah, I agree. Right in the beginning of the night, you have that. That's how you start, is with the conversations going on, and we hadn't even started investigating. We all went and ate dinner, and then we had just gotten on, and Ron just turned on, and that's what you hear. And then right at the beginning, we got this like couple that was like arguing or something. You don't really know. You don't really know what you're gonna get, but you could distinctly make out that couple like that. You know, are they arguing? Are they just having a conversation? But I'm very fascinated with it for sure, and I think it's gonna take me many times of actually experiencing it to fully grasp it, because it's just so it's incredible. Really, is what it is. And I can't wait for them to come over and talk about it, because it's gonna be awesome.
I had a thought, and it
Yikes.
suddenly left my mind.
Yikes.
I know, right? It's kind of scary. Oh, by the way, you're gonna have to read the comments because I can't.
Because you can't
don't
see.
have my glasses, so I can't read that far.
I got you. Joey said, "I wish I could have been there." Oh, we miss you.
We wish you could have been too.
Look, another baby.
Will you stop?
I'm sorry. I'm done. Good. I got my hat blocking me now. Go.
Blocking what? Blocking the wind, maybe.
Close my eyes.
Funny. So, what other? How do I want to word this? Oh, never mind. Tony and Sheree are coming over. All right, I'm gonna step out. And let them
I'm
sit.
gonna step out. You got them.
Do I have them?
Yeah, because you asked better questions.
Fair.
It's over there in the corner.
I don't ask better questions.
You guys hang
She just wants to leave. She just wants to leave.
Looking to break away.
Break away. So what's up, guys?
Nothing much. What's up? Should I take them?
You can. You look more mysterious with them on, though. But
I don't have my lashes.
oh,
Sorry.
Here,
Hi,
cover
guys.
cover
look like
the sunglasses.
she's incognito.
Yes.
Right.
You can hear Mike.
Testing.
There you go.
Testing,
That's perfect.
testing.
You can throw the headphones on if you want to hear it too. If you have trouble hearing. But-
Sure. So I don't
See, like
have
me,
to
I'm
yell
deaf,
at
so
you.
I can't hear.
So
I
I
need
don't have to
headphones.
yell at you.
That's true too. But
Scrape across the
This
mic.
is so fancy.
nothing but the best, right?
Oh yeah.
See, look at that.
Yes. Do you want me to sing now?
You can. What are you gonna sing for us? Tony, you want these headphones? You good?
No,
Okay.
I'm fine. I can hear. You guys are right next to me.
So like Kendra and I were just talking about, kind of talk about direct radio voice, which is now Staticom. Give our audience a little overview on it.
Sure. So, about a year and a half ago, we got the opportunity to actually investigate with some paranormal co-partners of ours on our Entity Voices show.
And
We-
friends as well.
And friends
you're
as
a
well.
nice friend.
Absolutely. But they took us 4-day, 4-mansion tour, which was awesome, but exhausting.
Yeah.
Every night, our amount of sleep went down. First night was like, we got 3 hours, then 2. I don't even know if we slept between the third and the fourth, because we were still up at 7 a.m. eating cold cuts from Anthony Simonelli, which were excellent. But by the fourth one, which was each location was awesome. But the whole point I'm trying to make is that Ron and Lourdes, we're doing this spirit communication method called DRV, or direct radio voice. And we, Sheree and I, had been building spirit boxes for the last decade. And each one we built, we had improvements on each and every one. But this method, they would get full sentence communications. And I remember very vividly them getting a communication that said, "Bring April to the basement." And April was with us. And to have that kind of intelligence, that full sentence, "Bring April to the basement," which of course we did, we took her to the basement and they asked, was just amazing. And each location, they would get different voices, different sentences, different responses. So then we said to them, well, let us participate. Let's see what we can make this thing do. So we started experimenting with it, and it didn't take us too long, although the method of it is challenging. It's not like a spirit box where you can just buy the device, flip it on, and it runs.
And it works, right?
Yeah.
Right.
This one you have to do. You find your spot.
Right.
Well, it's more than a good point. It's more than just a sweet spot, though. It's the right components. It runs off of what's called VST, or virtual studio technology. And so they make all these components that'll filter, that'll take noise out, you can adjust frequencies. But We realized, though, that one of the big drawbacks to DRV, or direct radio voice, was that it still uses a radio.
Right.
It doesn't scan radio stations. It sits stagnant on a static white noise station, and it works. But the big drawback was scientists, skeptics will say, "Oh, you're just picking up stray radio waves."
Right.
Well, so we began different tests. I think it was at the Superstition Mountains. I had a sleep machine in my bag, and one of the sounds was white noise. So I plugged it into the computer and I said, "Hey, can I communicate with spirits?" And when we got a response, it said accurate, and then it said so creepy. But not only did the voice come through the white noise, it imprinted it on the 3-second sound loop that was on the machine. And even if I play it today, you'll still hear that answer because it got imprinted onto the white noise sound. No, we didn't have a generator yet.
Okay.
On the sound chip. So then I thought, well, let's try a white noise generator. So we did, and oh my God, it worked. It worked perfectly. We've had as much as 7 to 8 minute conversations with an entity or a consciousness that's not in front of us, not visible, and we can ask question after question and get full-blown, full-tone sentences as answers.
That's crazy.
Yeah, what is so nice about Staticom is that when you try to communicate, it's like, it's just right there. You just, talking to each other, like, continuously.
Right.
Like the spirit box, it's just one words only.
Right.
It will
right.
speak one words, but this one you'll
get a word or two response. And what we determined from that is because a lot of people say, "Oh, they take fragments of the radio broadcast and they rearrange it." We don't believe that to be true. The radio stations actually completely destroy the spirit communication. And anyone who's used a spirit box knows that when it's true spirit communication, you'll hear it above
right.
or below where the radio stations are coming in. Well, when we switch to straight white noise, you don't have any of that interference. White noise generator has no ability whatsoever to pick up radio waves or satellite waves or anything in between. And then the other great part about it is that if you're doing EVP, which is the process is known as record and review,
right.
meaning you let the recorder run. If you think you hear something, then you go through, you try to clean it up.
Right.
We've made it now that is all done live.
That's cool.
The cleaning of the audio is done live. And then Ron came up with the idea of actually slowing down white noise in a live environment. And he said, "Well, here's my idea." And then I was able to find a mod that actually was capable of doing that. But we thought it was capable. We added the chain. We were able to do it. And he was able to pick out what he thought was a voice saying on, meaning that did he have the machine on? He goes, "Yeah, it's on."
Yeah.
When he slowed it down, that's not what it said. It said Ron.
Yeah.
It's mom. It was his own mother and grandmother
Really?
Speaking. And we have the clip. It's absolutely
That just gave me
phenomenal.
chills.
Yes,
Right.
it
It's
is.
absolutely.
That's crazy.
She's actually what she said was Ronnie. And then you hear it's Lucy, which is his grandmother.
I think his aunt. It's
His grandmother.
His grandmother.
And then she says, "I'm connecting," and it's just
Wow, that's
phenomenal.
mind-blowing.
But
That's
the
crazy.
communication method is tops anything we've seen today, and the ability to have almost. I mean, Edison used to talk about creating a phone to the dead. This today
This almost is.
is as close as we've seen it.
That's crazy.
That's
That's
why I
awesome.
want to say thank you to Ron and Lourdes
Absolutely,
for introducing
Ron and Lourdes for introducing us
Yes.
to us, and then the work we've done, the four of us together,
Yeah.
to improve it. We had a problem in the beginning because of the way that the broadband noise spectrum is. You're literally hearing everything from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, everything the human ear can hear all at once. We've now been able to
Isolate
filter it,
that. Yeah.
and the background chatter and stuff, we can calm it down to the point where you're only hearing the voices that are communicating with you. And again, like I was saying, the process is that white noise is still there, but when a signal goes over it, it's stochastic resonance. So it's like their voice goes over that background white noise, and you hear the voice, not the static. So it's kind of like the difference between hearing a single bee or hearing a whole hive of bees.
Right. Yep.
You know, that sound gets elevated, gets, you know, pronounced, and that's basically how it works, or how we believe it works. But it's fascinating as far
that's
as
really cool.
responses.
I remember when we were at the Shanley, I think Ron was telling us a story where I think it was direct radio at the time, but he took it down into like a bottom of a mine shaft.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're not going to get any radio interference. And he said the stuff he got was crazy.
Right. And that's a great point. Radio waves will get blocked by boulders, by earth, by metal ships. So how this wave and what this wave is that's filtering in, we don't know exactly. You know, is it a light wave? Is it you know, what's called the God particle wave?
Right.
You know, we don't know, but it's not hindered by structure. And he was down 25 feet in a cave,
right?
And
That's
literally
awesome.
3 feet in, all spirit boxes died.
Yeah.
Nobody got anything, but except for them, they were able to get communication. So it's fascinating, and we're at the tip of the iceberg of it yet so far. Don't know the limitations of it, and it's fascinating. But what we're going to present today are all the improvements that have been made, and it's incredible. It really is.
You guys are going to do a live demonstration, right?
We are.
Cool. I think we're going to cut out and go to see that.
Very cool.
I love to see
Very
you
cool.
guys. So I want you to tell everybody in the audience about your show. So you guys are live every Monday night.
We are. Every Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time. We do a show called Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence. It's myself and Cherie, Ron and Lourdes from Gagnac Paranormal, and Chris and Audra from Southern Entities. The 6 of us have investigated with each other. We've investigated with Ron and Lourdes. We investigated for years with Chris and Audra. Chris and Audra have investigated with Ron and Lourdes. The 6 of us have never been together. We're planning that in May.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Hopefully,
That's awesome.
Hopefully in May, so we'll see that happen. But
That's cool.
But we basically review evidence of our own and of paranormal investigators from known and upcoming ones, and just have some fantastic evidence to. We go through it, we review it, we say what we think we might be seeing, or clearly at other times we're just like, wow, great capture. Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. If you have never seen it, check it out.
And the 6 of you together, you guys are just freaking hilarious. I mean, I know Joey and I had the pleasure of coming on with you one time, a couple times. We came on with you guys. It was just so much fun. It's just, I just love the energy you guys give off, and you guys you could tell the kinship that you guys have.
We get along on every level, and we all have sort of specialties within the paranormal. And that also helps. I mean, there's things where somebody will show a clip and, we'll say something, and then Ron and Lourdes will say something else, and it all ties together. And we'll come up with things none of us even thought of, and be like, well, the shadow you're seeing in that window, he builds windows and doors and all sorts of other things. He's like, there's no way that could have opened. That's got this kind of latch or spring. And,
our medium
it's just,
psychic.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a good match, and it makes for a really good show.
Yep. Cool.
What was happening in May? You guys said you were investigating together in May?
We're gonna try to all 6 of us get together to do an investigation.
Where are you hooking up at? Do you know?
North Carolina.
Okay.
Yes. NC.
Yeah.
Nice. I'd love to go to like Gettysburg or someplace like that.
We've never even been to Gettysburg.
Yes,
anything east of the Mississippi. I mean, we've been to the Bel Air House. We've been to 4 different mansions in New Jersey, but that was like the first time we were ever really East Coast.
Right.
I mean, we've been investigating Japan. We've investigated the Philippines.
Oh wow!
But some reason the East Coast has always just never fell into our. But now it's going to. So.
Yeah.
Ron and Lourdes, right after I met them, they were going to Gettysburg. So they were like, "Are you coming to Gettysburg?" I was like, "I'd love to." But
Didn't they go the week before the Shanley?
they went after.
Oh, okay.
Week
I was
after.
gonna meet up with them there, but I just didn't have time.
Oh.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah, it's on our bucket list too. So maybe next year.
Yeah, maybe next
That'd be
year.
cool.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
we'll
we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'd be fun. So what time are you guys on today? I got to look at my schedule here.
3 something.
3:50. You guys are on.
3:50?
So yeah, we're definitely gonna go check you guys out. for sure.
Yeah, come and listen. It should be very intellectual as far as how we're doing it. We'll explain how it works. We'll explain how we got rid of the radio. We'll explain the fact that there's no reasonable explanation for these voices to even be there, but yet they are. And then we're going to run a live, and we're going to ask questions, show it work, and then we're going to let the audience ask their own set of questions. See what happens.
Are you in the main depot or the baggage depot?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
You're in the depot. You just said depot. So you're in the depot. Is it? I don't know. We'll have to ask me where you're at. Either way, that building, we've gotten some good activity in there before.
Really? Never been there.
The other cool thing about the way this communication method operates is we are not bound to spirits in a specific location.
True.
We did a live where Ron was running Staticom in New Jersey. Shree and I are in Phoenix.
I remember
Chris
that.
and
I remember
Audra
that,
are
yeah.
in North Carolina. Ron asked the spirits to tell them what word Chris wrote on a piece of paper. So he told them to go look. They said, okay. They came back. Well, they had to go figure out what Chris had written. They came back over the airwaves that Ron was putting out and said the word Chris had written.
Yep.
So they're not bound. And we noticed that too, even before Staticom. When we went to the Philippines and were investigating the Diplomat Hotel, we had a spirit identify himself as one that was in the old Phelps Dodge Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, that's Michael. And he was there. So they're not bound in time or space. So that doesn't limit them in any way.
No, that's very cool. Kind of makes you feel small, doesn't it?
It really
Right?
does.
I mean,
it really does. And the way that the things that we've been able to determine through the research it's just mind blowing. I mean, they're not like we were asking, because when we do a session, we're not broadcasting our voice. There's no mics. There's no nothing. The question we asked was, when I speak, how do you hear me? And they literally said, energy of the mind. So now whether that's truly of the mind or whether that's spiritual energy, that's the question. But it comes from the thought process. That's what they're hearing. They're not hearing vocals. And that would explain why when we do EVPs, sometimes we get an answer before I even finish saying the question.
Right.
Because they're not hearing it from my vocals. They're hearing it from energy of the mind.
Right. That's some deep science right there.
Yeah. And for every answer you get, there's 100 more questions that you want to ask. So it's never ending.
It's very fascinating.
It's unbelievably fascinating.
Well, cool. Well, we're definitely going to come over and see you guys later.
All right. Sounds
Thank
good.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure seeing you guys.
Thank you.
And hopefully we get to do an
I want one of
investigation
these.
again with you
Yes.
guys.
Yes, absolutely.
Sometime soon.
Sometimes
Very soon.
Gotta do something
very
soon. All right, guys. Thank you so much. That was Tony and Sheree, NTT Voices. Go check out their show on Monday nights.
Back into the
Yeah, it's hard to.
Lindsay just said Joey, like it was a statement. We missed you. They're talking about, maybe.
That's it.
Joey said they had a kid run out of that building crying.
Oh yeah, there was. Yeah, the baggage building. Yeah,
I still haven't been in
freaked
there.
that kid out. Well, I think it was.
Oh, like a living kid because of something happened. I
Yeah,
thought it was like an EDP
He was on the
of them.
tour. Joey, you have to remind me, but I think it was because the K2 started going off like crazy in that front area there, and then I think something made a bang or something did something, and the kid like freaked out. I remember that. That was crazy. That's a cool building,
I
though.
still haven't been in there. I'll go in there eventually. I just haven't been in there. If you guys are just joining us today, the wind did not start until we went live, and that's just rude. But if you guys are in person or online, my name's Kendra.
And I'm Keith. Sorry, I was looking at my list here, so.
We are identifying as K squared today that I've decided I made up because it's fun and entertaining. Who's our next speaker that we have for today?
We have One coming up at 1:30 in the main depot,
Awesome.
and they're doing a live audience reading. Ooh, that'd be fun.
That'll be fun.
That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
you guys should definitely check that out. That's going to be awesome. For those of you that are here in person, we also have some raffles going on, right?
Yes, we do. We have a raffle going off at 3 o'clock. We're giving away a ghost hunt for 2 right here at the train depot tonight. So it's $2 per ticket or 3 for $5. So great deal. It's a $50 value. Get in there and get it while it's hot. And then we've got at 4 o'clock, we're raffling off the new SB7 Spirit Box. Another great deal. So $5 per ticket, 3 for $10. It's like the lottery, you know what they say. You got to be in it to win it. So buy your tickets.
Can't win if you don't play.
That's another great deal on the Spirit Box. I mean, you buy one ticket for $5, you win $100 Spirit Box. So that's a good deal.
Can you cut this mic?
Yeah, they can.
We also, sorry, it was just like the wind is so intense.
I know. I didn't have the little foamy things because I didn't think it'd be windy today.
There's one in here.
Is there?
There might be 2. I don't know.
No,
But there
it's
is one in there. Another raffle that's going on. We have Paps doing a raffle for a little ghost hunting basket. It's got a signed book in there from Debbie Branning, a K2 meter, crystal pendulum with a communication board, grid light, vibration detection balls, crystals, a great little smorgasbord of things in there for you. Those tickets are $1 per ticket, and all of the proceeds go to the Main Street Project. So that'd be really cool. If you guys are in person here, the Paps booth is diagonal from us to the left. You guys can grab a ticket from them. And they said they'll be drawing around 4 p.m. and you do not need to be here to win.
Where is this wind coming from?
It only wanted to do it when we went live.
Literally, this morning we got here, it was silent, not a breeze. And now it's like starting to lift the tent. It's getting kind of nerve-wracking.
Don't say that out loud.
I know.
Joey said the K2 went nuts, and I think it rocked and made the sound. And then he said, I'm jealous right now. I want to be there. Oh, we wish you were here.
We do. Absolutely wish you were here.
This wind.
Should have tied the sandbags onto the tent.
I feel like, yeah.
We're holding the computer down so it doesn't go airborne. It really is good. It's super windy.
Yeah, where did it come
I
from,
have
guys?
no idea. What was I going to? So what was the downtown Main Street project? Is that, you know?
Why you
And on to the next conversation. I'm assuming it's still. Oh man.
Oh jeez.
Nothing but the best here, folks. Nothing but the best.
We are organized chaos, I think. And if we were just organized, that would suck. But organized chaos adds a little bit of spice to life. And if you don't like spice, then life's just boring.
That's
So,
true.
Um,
Is it that time already?
what time?
1:20?
No way.
Yeah, it is. So 1:30, we got One coming up in the main depot doing a live audience reading. 1:30.
1:30.
I got to keep checking my notes. Sorry.
I think that if I had notes for my speech, they were on my phone, and I'm old fashioned. I like to write things down physically, and I have a piece of paper in my hand, and I wrote all these notes for my talk, and I was like, oh, I forgot it. So I wrote them on my phone. They're not there. I go to do my talk, and I'm looking, and they're not there. And I was like, all right,
You gonna wing it?
guess we're winging it.
Hey, that works.
And that's what we did.
Yep.
We decided to wing it.
Hey, when you're in the podcast world, you just wing everything. It's the way,
That's
it's the
the
way it
whole
works.
podcast idea.
Right?
Just wing it.
I think you should do. I think especially your first episode's got to be on. Where's your boba, by the way?
I finished the tea, and I threw out the boba.
Oh, you did.
I'm telling you, I don't even think you could get a dog to eat the boba. And dogs probably can't eat boba. I don't know.
Oh, my dog will eat anything.
If it is the strawberry boba that you put on frozen yogurt all day long, even the mango. I don't even really like mango. Yeah, we did just now. The wind feels nice when you're in the sun, and it's also when you're taking a podcast, live podcast, and the mics are right up against it.
Yeah,
It makes you want to strangle the wind.
it really does.
Have you ever seen Frozen 2?
I've never seen Frozen 1.
That makes sense. I have a 4-year-old cousin who's obsessed with Frozen, right? Like obsessed. So I've seen Frozen 2 probably 7 billion times. But the wind has a name. Her name is like Gail, I think. And they get real mad at Gail because she's being a brat and like pushing them and like doing all this stuff. So they're Gail, And then they go, "Hi, Gail."
Gail's a good name.
For the wind, though, I feel like it's not big enough. I feel like you need something bigger and more pronounced.
We never heard of gale force wind.
That's probably why it's not gale wind.
Science, you gotta love it.
Joey said hi, Karen. She's over there. She says hi.
Is she over there? Oh.
Yeah. She was behind us. It's a little walking path.
Was she doing rabbit ears behind us? Is that what she was doing?
I do them to myself. I have a picture of Dakota Layden doing rabbit ears to me, and I was so oblivious during that night. Like, I had no idea. So I look back on the pictures, and he's like this in all the pictures, and I was like, you Brad.
You suck. So when do you come back to Phoenix for good?
You're lucky my grandmother isn't on here. She'd start backing you. I was in Payson with her this weekend. She started crying the whole way down to the valley because she didn't want me to go back home. Look, no. I love Arizona. I really do. I was born and raised here. My family's here. My friends are here. And honestly, I think it's the heat that's like doing it for me. Like, it's so brown here. The East Coast is so green, so beautiful, and it really is. There's so much history over there.
Just wait till that first blizzard hits.
I know. Next year is going to be bad. Next year I'm going to be like, oh, it snows here. Goodbye.
It may not be though, because even New York, I was told this year that they really didn't get a lot of snow.
No, I'm telling you, Philadelphia got none.
Yeah, it's unusual.
It's so unusual. But some of my coworkers were like, sometimes you get a lot, sometimes you get none. And I was like, no, it's just me. Like, I brought you guys the heat. You're welcome.
Right.
Darn it. Every time I look, I get caught up and I'm like,
did you have another question?
Yeah, I was going to ask you a question, but you were going to say something earlier and you got lost.
Probably.
But that's probably my fault.
What are we talking about?
I don't know. I never know these things. I look short. I don't know why. Probably because I'm sitting and laying like this.
Slouch. That helps you.
No, I slouch constantly. I'm like, I used to get yelled at in school for doing that. In college.
Up here in Globe, what would you say your favorite place to investigate? I almost want to tell you not to include the jail because the jail is kind of a given. But...
Yeah, the jail for the history alone. I would go into the jail. Like, even if I didn't get to investigate, just going on a tour of the jail is incredible because it's all original. You get to see the original markings on the walls, the cells. Like, it's great. So just to walk around the jail, I like. I haven't gotten to go in the courthouse yet, but I've always been drawn to the courthouse and I've always wanted to investigate the courthouse. So I feel like if I had gotten the chance to do that, it would be on my list. But the YMCA in Miami is just, I've had so much activity there over the years. Yeah.
It's been a couple of years.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh. For the last couple of years, I've had so much activity there that I just, it's hard to discount things. Like we've said before, twice is a coincidence, 3 times is a pattern.
Right.
And it's hard to discount things that have happened when they happen so many times and you're like, did that happen? No, that definitely happened. Like, we see shadow figures a lot there, which I don't know if you know this, but shadow figures aren't as common as people think. They're actually really, especially full figure, full human figure, are very uncommon. So seeing shadow figures is really cool. We get the whistling there a lot. I've gotten great EVPs from there. I've been scratched there. That one was insane. Right. So I think I'm going to have to say the Y just because of the cumulative things that have happened here. Definitely. You're my lifesaver.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, our Lord and Savior, Lindsay.
Keeping us hydrated.
Yes, because Joey said, y'all come visit us in Texas. It's the most haunted state according to Alexa. I've actually heard that before.
But yeah, I'll tell you what, I've been to Texas a few times now for work. Unfortunately, I didn't get much chance to play, but it's really cool. I mean, you talk about history. There's a lot of history there too.
Yeah, so I work with my friend's company every year, and for 6 months out of the year, I'm in Dallas, probably for over 6 months. I'm there probably 15 times.
Yeah.
And I think it's amazing.
So there's a little town just outside of Dallas called Grapevine.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And every time I go back there for work, I have to go there to have dinner or just to walk around the town because it's just such a cool little town.
Really?
I don't think I've
actually been in it.
It's got an old train, station with an old train. It's just really freaking cool.
That's awesome.
It's very cool.
I think I'm gonna have to go there next time.
I don't know, Joey. Have you guys made it out to Grapevine yet? It's just such a cool place. The food's phenomenal. They got a lot of really great restaurants in there.
I'm always in Dallas or Fort Worth or Las Colinas, so I need to go to Grapevine's not that far. It's right there, right?
From Dallas at all.
Yeah,
it's very close.
I'm gonna have to go.
But yeah, it's a really cool place.
He's only 45 minutes from Dallas, and he said he has not yet been.
You absolutely have to go.
Yeah,
highly recommend it.
That sounds cool.
Such a cool town. Matter of fact, I've got to go probably for work here in the next couple of months down there, so I'm gonna make it a point.
There's a puppy.
You and your puppies.
If you guys are in the live, drop us a comment, say hey.
Yeah, say hi.
So that we know you're here because we can't see that otherwise. We probably could.
Plus the way crazy everywhere.
It makes me think that there's something wrong with me because it's are my eyes wiggling?
No,
or
it's definitely the screen's moving.
Okay, good.
There's no doubt the screen's moving.
The screen's dancing.
You see it bouncing around. So
a couple things that we have learned today. What are your top 3 things that you've learned today so far? We're about halfway through the day.
You really like puppies. You hate boba. And you miss Arizona. Was that not what I was supposed to say?
No, the problem is I knew that's exactly what you were going to say. Oh,
and
my
what 3
God.
things did you learn today?
That I don't like boba. I learned on a real note that they took out the radio from your guys', which I find really cool.
So from direct radio voice, now it's called
Staticom, which I find
cool.
that really cool.
Yep.
And I also learned that when I speak in front of people, not necessarily on a live, but Onay, if you are around, we are ready for you. You can head on into the main depot to start your talk.
Onay.
She might be upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing that I learned is I think I already knew this, but it's learning it again. And I've said it 100 times. I'll probably say it 100 more times. The sheer diversity of people that are here.
Right.
Just kids, babies, older people, everything. There's so many different kinds of people here, and they all are into different things. You can obviously see some people prefer to be over here, some prefer to be over there. It's just cool to see everybody come together and do a shared love of the paranormal, and I love it.
Well, we've done this is our second year doing this one. We did one in New Mexico, and then we did, Joey and I did for a couple of years. And
I think I knew that.
You didn't know that?
Mm-mm.
Where have you been?
Under a rock, apparently.
So we during COVID, all the Paracons kept getting canceled, and everybody was disappointed. So we decided to do a virtual Paracon.
Oh no, I do remember this. Okay.
And it was, we just between these different events, you get to meet so many awesome people, especially with the Parapalooza, because everything was online. You didn't have to go anywhere. People we'd set it up like this. We'd have speakers in 15, 20-minute slots, and we'd just keep playing it throughout the day. And it was just a lot of fun. It was a blast to do. But like you said, you meet so many diverse people doing stuff like this, and it's cool. And you learn a lot. You learn a lot just by
100%.
listening to the different speakers, just going around talking to people. I mean, it's really cool. It's a cool experience.
It's also cool to see, we've talked to a couple of different paranormal investigation groups today, and you can just see, talking to the different groups, how they're so different, but they've got those similarities, and how they investigate and how they got started and things like that.
Right.
But it's so different because these two, however many groups, share the same kind of territory, quote, quote. They operate in the same kind of geographical area,
Right.
but some people may have both of them come in and experience completely different things in one group, which is awesome. And I really do love that. And I think that that's super great for sure. And I like that you said about, like I had said during my talk, when you do paranormal, it's when you're in the paranormal community, it's a very large community when you're in the community.
Right.
But the people outside, nobody knows.
No,
Like
right.
you could say like, oh, like I know this person and impress a bunch of people, and then these people will be like, who's
Have
that?
no
You know,
idea.
exactly.
Right.
Right. And I think that that's great. I think that that's so cool because it's kind of like a little secret. Like it's like when you get into it, you're like, wow, this is way bigger than I thought. This is awesome.
Yep.
And like when I started with Vinny and the crew, I didn't know anybody, and within 6 months we were all like family.
Yep.
Like that's how it is. Big barbecue, coming over, like hanging out at Vinny's house. It's just that's how things roll, and I love.
We're good. We're good. That was a stiff breeze. Gail came to visit.
Joey said the YouTube fam wants another Parapalooza, says Amy.
That'd be fun to do. We could do another one.
Should do like a multi-state.
Well, it really was. I mean,
yeah.
we had people from. I think we even had somebody overseas that was on it. I mean, we had a lot of different people on it. It was cool. It was a lot of fun. And again, it gave people an opportunity. You didn't have to go anywhere. You know, just go on your computer like you do a Zoom call and
wear
you
jammies.
So yeah, it was exactly.
That sounds awesome.
We had somebody do. I think it was our first time doing it. We had somebody do a live investigation in a cemetery. Yeah, we just cut off. Sorry.
Speaking of cemeteries, when we went to New York, we went to Sleepy Hollow. We got some really cool spirit box responses on the spirit box. I'm so sorry, everybody.
She's sleep deprived. Don't worry about it.
I'm jet lagged.
That was a cool cemetery, though.
That was awesome. We went to the Sleepy Hollow Cemetery. That was really awesome. I find that really interesting. See, I might get in trouble for this a little bit, but I'm not a huge fan of spirit boxes. But again, that's just a personal preference.
Who said what?
I know.
Was that Lindsay that said that?
Yeah.
Was that?
I think that. See, okay, I should rephrase that. I don't like them in places like up here in Globe. It's hard because you get that radio interference a lot. If you're in a more like isolated place, like when we're at the Flag Museum or like Acadia, it's a little bit less populated and kind of off the beaten path, so you have less of that radio interference. But they're not my favorite thing.
But okay, so back up on that point, though. No, another reason why I like the paranormal community is you, as an investigator, you get comfortable with what you get comfortable with.
Absolutely.
You may not be comfortable with the spirit box.
That's true.
You know, I mean, I'm not very good with the spirit box because I don't hear certain things, but I like the ghost tube. I'll walk around with the ghost tube.
Yeah, that's true.
But the big thing is you have to cross verify, I think. So have a ghost tube going, but have a spirit box going, or have an obelisk going.
Yeah.
Because if you get that cross confirmation, then you can kind of debunk that it's not paranormal or it is paranormal. You know what I mean?
Like we were talking about earlier with the Shanley investigation, they had that going on both of the spirit boxes. And they had the obelisk. Like you get everything going at the same time, you could definitely do that. But yeah, I don't know. There's some pieces of evidence that, or let's get into that. If you guys are just joining us, drop us a comment. Let us know you're here so that we can say hi, because we can't see if you're here or not. So let us know. But let's get into that a little bit, because that's really interesting to me. Equipment.
Yeah.
What's one piece of equipment that you find really underrated?
Underrated, huh?
Because I like, for me, I think the REM pod is incredibly underrated. I feel like people know about it and they talk about it, but I feel like it's not why. Lindsay said, I'm here and here. She is. She 100% is. She's our biggest fan, I think. Shout out to Lindsay for being our biggest fan. Like I personally think, I think people know about it, and I think people use it for like the look of it. it's easily recognizable.
Right.
But I don't think people use it as much as they could, and in like the ways that they could. I think it's very underrated, but that's
I don't know if I have an opinion on that, honestly.
really
I don't know. I mean, up until a year ago, I'd say I think dowsing rods were underrated because I've seen Pam use them. I've seen other people use them, and I'm pretty fascinated with the results.
yeah. I think you also have to be really careful with those too because you have to know how to use them. And
Right.
it's the same kind of thing with anything really, but with dowsing rods, I feel like if you don't understand them, you have to be careful for sure.
Well, it's easy to get a false reading.
Oh yeah,
I think but I still think they're cool to use.
absolutely. Yeah, I've never been on an investigation or really any kind of experience with them, but I enjoy the idea of them, if that makes sense. Joey said he thinks the K2 is the most versatile, which
Versatile or underrated? Versatile.
he says.
I would agree. I would agree with that.
My only problem with the K2s is the interference is so like you can't use it at the jail in certain rooms because the boxes, cable boxes, and things like that. But I do agree with like
Again, it's knowing the tool, knowing the piece
Exactly.
of equipment. You have to know when and where to use it.
exactly,
Right.
and I think that it's not. I don't want to say it. It's people tend to use equipment and maybe not know how fully, like you're saying, and that's the problem. I don't want to like say anything wrong to like make people mad, but people will take a K2 meter and not really know what sets it off. A cell phone, a text message coming and sets it off. For those of you who don't know, if you get a text message, it'll set the K2 off if you're not on airplane mode or something.
Right.
And people will automatically be like, oh, that was paranormal. And it makes it really hard. So you have to go into an investigation kind of knowing your tools. I think that that's so important. And if you don't know the tool, maybe don't use it
Don't use
until
it.
you
Yeah.
do.
Or get somebody who knows how to use it and learn it.
Yeah.
I'll say another one I think might be a little bit underrated, and I'll tell you why. I'll follow up with my explanation. It's just an average everyday recorder. And the reason I say that is I'm always fascinated. One of the questions we always ask on any of the shows we do is, what's your favorite piece of equipment?
Mhm.
And with all the technology out there, all the cool devices that are out there, it's amazing how many people will go, I just like my handheld recorder more than anything.
Yeah.
And, I know on a couple of investigations, I headphones up in my recorder and just walked around with it. And especially at the Doña Ana in New Mexico, I mean, the stuff I was hearing through the recorder was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
It
I
was
didn't
pretty
start
cool.
live listening to my recorders until recently.
Recently?
Probably in like the Shanley with you guys, probably one of the first times I ever really did it.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how much better I like it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Until doors slam and it makes you go deaf.
Or until
Then that hurts.
Kendra accidentally says something very loud and forgets your recorders on and blows Keith's eardrums. That was an accident. Or no, it was, yeah, that was that. I definitely did that. That's okay though. What do you think, like, what is your favorite piece of equipment? Is it like a handheld recorder for you, or is it something else?
It seems to lean towards the recorder is my favorite, but again, used in the right aspect, I love those two, but again, I don't cross verify with it.
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't know enough about the Staticom or direct radio to be able to set something like that up. I'm not that way. God bless Tony and God bless Ron. Those guys are extremely knowledgeable when it comes to that stuff.
Absolutely.
So I shy away from that just because I don't know it. I don't know well enough to be able to put something together. So I kind of go with the basic stuff. But we've played with so much over our couple of years we've been investigating. We've had cat balls, you name it. We've had different pieces of equipment, and it's just been fun to get the reactions out of the different pieces that you use.
Absolutely. And I think, what I found really fascinating, what piece of equipment I find fascinating, ion generators. Because I never really thought about it like that until I did research on it and stuff, and I ended up talking to Tango about it a little bit, and he kind of, because I don't know enough, and like, somebody knows more about it, right? And I'm trying to rebuild my kit, and I'm like, do I want to add an ion generator? Do I not? So I reached out to Tango, and I was like, hey, like, tell me more about this. And he said exactly, what I would expect is you got to be really careful with ion generators, because generating ions is kind of a risky move a little bit, but you have to be really careful. And you don't think about it, but if I had an ion generator without knowing really how to use it, I would have stuck it in the room and gone in with it and started just asking questions right away. He says you got to take it, you got to leave it in the room for a few hours, let it fill the room, and then turn it off and then go into the room.
Okay.
I would have never thought about that. But I find those incredibly fascinating because of the kind of reaction you can get just generating ions in a room. It's insane how different entities can pull from those ions and create more energy. I find it so fascinating. But have you worked with them before?
Never.
A little scary.
Yeah, I never worked with them.
It sounds incredible. Joey said, I like it in combination with the REM pod, the K2, which, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, if you can cross-verify with another piece of equipment, it makes it that more exciting when you get evidence.
Absolutely.
So what advice would you give to people? I love this question because I love to hear the answer. What advice would you give to people that may not be open like you are, but will want to learn? You know what I'm saying?
I think the best piece of advice, which I would tell this to anybody for really anything, honestly, is ask questions. Don't just ask questions of other people, ask questions for yourself. Like if you're kind of a little bit skeptical, but maybe you're in a location that's haunted, let's say your house or something like that, and you see something out of the corner of your eye, your gut reaction is to say, oh, I didn't see that, or oh, that must have just been a shadow, or whatever. Ask questions. Say, wait, stop and say, what did I just see? Do I think I think this is what I saw? Is that what I saw? Analyze it from your, within yourself. Analyze what you're seeing or hearing or experiencing. And I think that helps kind of build, because, and don't shut yourself down. Don't say, oh, what did I just see? I think I saw a shadow of a person. Did I see a shadow of a person? No, I didn't. And then you shut yourself off to that. You completely just shut yourself off. And that's so frustrating to me. Oh, right. But if you say, what did I just see? Did I see a shadow of a person? I think I did. Okay. That was a person. Just keep asking questions and don't ever shut yourself down. I think that helps anybody develop their kind of feeling. And after doing that a while, I think you can walk into a place. I mean, depends on how long and how open you are. But I feel like you can walk into a place and be like, the energy in here is a little bit heavier. I don't think I like it. Right. And walk out. Or, you can walk in and be like, oh, this is going to be great. It depends on the kind of person you are. But, I mean, that's fine.
See, I don't have that feeling. I never have that feeling. I can never walk into a place and go, it feels weird in here. I've had a couple of times where I've been on investigation. I feel like my chest will get tight or I'll feel something, but as far as just being able to walk into a place and go, oh, this place is active, I can't do that. I don't know how to do that.
I gotta tell this story just a little bit. Okay. You were included in this, so you don't even need to listen to the story. But we had gone to Acadia to investigate the Acadia Ranch Museum, and Keith he was wearing a short sleeve shirt, and we saw the back of his shirt moving, and the K2 meters was lighting up near his arm, and we saw his shirt physically moving like somebody was pulling it. Lindsay and I did. And Keith was standing there. We are watching it move. We are watching his shirt being pulled, like somebody's pulling it. And Keith goes, I don't feel it. Nothing's happening. And we're like, we're telling you it is. We are watching this happen to you. And he's like, no, I don't think so. We're like, no, really. And then finally he was like, well, I felt something. And yeah, that's how it goes. So that's good though, because you were skeptical about it, and right. You wouldn't have said anything, and we noticed it, and we're telling you, and you're like, no, that's not happening. That was kind of cool. But I just find that funny. That shows you. But then in some instances, you're like, oh, I heard that for sure. You've got that kind of level-headedness that people need when being an investigator. And I think that's really
well. It's the same place when you go into the medical room and you lay on that bed.
The shaking.
Yeah, I was laying on the bed. Were you there when it happened to me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was laying on the bed, incredibly still, just trying to relax my mind. Because that's what everybody said you got to do. You just got to relax your mind and let it go, So I was doing that. And I felt like somebody was shaking the bed this way. I felt like my body was going this way. And when I started feeling it, I was like, okay, well, maybe it's me. Maybe because it's an older bed. It's got a lot of springs in it. So I thought maybe the slightest movement that I was making would cause that to happen. So I literally stiffened up and laid as still as I could. And I still felt it was shaking. And I think at one point, didn't we put a camera on it?
Yeah.
And we could actually see it moving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that was weird. I still can't explain that.
We also did the where we tried to debunk it, and we walked around all of the different parts of the hospital and the rooms. We were walking in all the other rooms trying to get it to move. We couldn't recreate it unless somebody was saying it, and we were all in the room. We were still,
Right.
Which that's how you do it. Like that's how you prove something or not disprove. That's not a thing. That's debunking. There's a difference there. But we were able to say like, oh yeah, like that's insane.
I'm going to ask you an interesting question.
Oh,
I don't think I've ever asked anybody this, and it may tie into a story if I choose to tell it or not. But do you believe when you sleep, you become more open to that dimension, the paranormal dimension?
100%, yes. Okay. Because I think you hear stories all the time of people saying like, oh, this person came to me in a dream and told me that they were dead, and then I woke up and found out that they were dead. Like my mom had a story like that where a friend of hers came to her in a dream and was like, hey, I just need you to know that I'm okay, but I'm gone. And then she woke up and found out that he had passed away. It's things like that where there's a name for it, and I wish I knew it, and I wish I could tell you right now, but you slip into a state of basically pure relaxation. It's not REM sleep, but it's a state where you can completely let go of your like the thoughts that make you stop.
Right.
Like if we could be in that state constantly, that's what people believe like psychics are. Like they live in that constant state of being able to shut off that part of your brain. So people can come to you, dogs can come to you, you can go to different parts, and when it's real. Like I've had dreams of my favorite dog ever who I had, his name was Gus. I've had dreams of him and been like, oh, like that was Gus, it was fun. But then I've had dreams where I was playing with him and I woke up and I just knew that was real. Like it's weird. It's so weird, but I truly believe that 100%.
So one night, probably, I don't know, 8 months ago, maybe even a year ago now, I don't remember exactly when it happened, but I had my first experience with sleep paralysis.
Oh, jeez.
And I woke up and I felt like somebody was holding my legs down on the bed. And I woke up and tried, I think, this is what I remember. I think I tried to scream like for Lindsay, and nothing came out of my mouth. Like I couldn't move, nothing. But it was over like that. I mean, but it was just freaky. It was really weird. And that was my first time ever experiencing something like that. So that's why I was asking, does a dream state or sleep state open you up more to that dimension?
Absolutely, 100%. And I think that there's a podcast that I like to listen to. It's called Morbid. It's one of the very, very early episodes, like probably 3 years ago. They did a whole episode on like the science behind sleep paralysis, and it's really fascinating. I've only experienced it once as well, and it was pretty recent. I was in a hotel in New York, and which automatically is scary because you're by yourself in the middle of a strange city.
Mm-hmm.
But I was by myself in a hotel in New York in Times Square, which is already like busy and crazy. And I woke up and like something was happening. There was somebody in the room with me and they were like holding me down, and I was screaming, but nothing was coming out. And so I was like in and out of sleep and not sleep, trying to move. Most terrifying thing ever. But then I was like, wait, let me just pretend I'm asleep again, like pretend to go back to sleep, and it went away, which is like fascinating to me. You got to listen to that podcast. Just that episode is
check it out.
It's a science behind it, and it's very, very fascinating.
Well, I had something happen to me last night. And I didn't even tell Lindsay this. So I had something happen to me last night where I felt like I woke up yelling, and I don't know if I did. Maybe I did.
I didn't hear anything
to me, but I literally felt like I woke up not screaming, but yelling, like calling out for help.
Oh, that's I don't know why.
I'm not going to talk about the dream that I had prior to it because I don't want to discuss that. But it was just weird because I woke up and I said, "Did that really just happen to me?"
Yeah.
And I looked for her to see if she rolled over, because sometimes I'll scare the crap out of her because I will yell in my sleep or I'll talk in my sleep. But I thought for sure I did something last night, but I don't know.
I didn't hear
So,
anything.
that's
So,
weird.
and I'm a light sleeper, so
Yeah.
I think you're good. But
So-
that's insane to me. The whole idea of sleep in general brings on so many other questions that tie in with the paranormal situations.
Right.
Like, I know people have regular normal dreams. I have never in my life had a regular normal dream. All of my dreams are so weird and like just strange. I've never had a normal dream. But they're always so like there's always like a hint of like some sort of paranormal aspect in
Yeah.
it. Like it's weird. Things are weird. It's weird.
I've never found anybody who actually talks about dreams. I'd love to talk to somebody.
I think that
who
would be
studies
really cool.
dreams. Yeah, I mean, Joey and I tried to get somebody on the podcast several times. We were looking for somebody to come on and talk about dreams, but I don't think we ever found anybody.
That would be
Yeah.
I'd love to know more about
Somebody
that.
who analyzes dreams.
Yeah.
I'd love
I mean,
I'd
I know
love to
that
talk
they
to
have a
somebody.
bunch of people
course
that
they
do
do,
that,
yeah,
but like
yeah.
you also got to do your research, get the people that speaking of kind of like that kind of thing. Have you ever heard of Dr. Brian Weiss?
That name sounds familiar.
So he wrote a bunch of books. He's a past life regression therapist.
Okay.
And
Maybe
he
that's
was
where I
a
heard of it.
skeptic. He did not believe in that. He was a normal therapist, studied at Yale,
Right.
like regular therapist. And then he started having experiences with past life regression therapy, like he was doing it. And he wrote a book called Many Lives, Many Masters. And this was probably in the 70s, I think, 80s maybe. That book changed my life. It is, you read it and you're like, holy crap, like it's insane. But he also wrote another book called Only Love is Real, which is the same kind of thing. It's these two people who he's doing past life regression therapy with. And obviously he's their therapist. So
Right.
their stories from their past lives are overlapping considerably from all of their past lives. Like
Interesting.
they've been together through all these past lives, but because he's their therapist, he can't go and be like, I have another patient whose life is overlapping with yours. Do you want to meet them? Like doctor patient confidentiality, he can't.
Right.
So eventually it just so happens that these two get together and you know, it's done like that. But that fascinates me like to the fullest extent. Past life regression therapy in general, like specifically.
Right.
Because you go back and you see like you've been with all these people in your past lives and you recognize them as different. That's fascinating. Definitely read up on that.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's
Very
incredible.
cool. I'll have to check it out.
So who do we have coming up as our next speaker?
All right, our next speaker, we got Onay in there now. We got Leland coming up at 2:05. He's going to be over at the Baggage Depot, talking about noise reduction and scouting a spectrum unheard. Interesting.
I'm excited to hear about that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, that is. So 2:05, we got Leland in the Baggage Depot coming up. And we're going to cut out in about 5 minutes. So
We are. Because you have to really speak. I've been waiting, but we're good.
So I want to thank everybody who jumped on to join us here today. It was a lot of fun going
Absolutely.
live. You can rewatch it. It'll be on YouTube, and we'll share it on Facebook again so you guys can watch it. What?
I didn't know that part. Now I got to rewatch it.
What? I don't know what you said.
No. That's my problem is 90% of the time I speak without thinking. That's what makes me entertaining though.
But this was a lot of fun. This was cool to be able to do this. I'm glad our internet held up to where we were able to do it. Got to talk to some fascinating people today.
I
So
love that Lindsay says in the comments, bye guys.
she's literally, you can't see her, but she's
She's
literally
right there.
15 feet away from us. So it's kind of
Our
funny.
biggest supporter. We love her.
So I definitely want to thank Vinny from Arizona Paranormal Investigation Research Society for putting this on second year in a row, bringing everybody
Absolutely.
together. It's been a lot of fun. And like we said earlier, if it wasn't for Vinny, we probably wouldn't be doing what we're doing today. So
Lindsay said, oh crap, I can't get rid of you.
how do you block? You can block. Never
Yeah,
mind.
you just block her. She's not allowed to watch us anymore. We will be here podcasting, hanging out, talking to you guys for the rest of the day. So if you guys are a vendor, you want to talk about what you've got, your groups, anything like that, you guys can come on over and join us at any point in the day. We'll be here until 5.
Yep,
5,
we'll be
that's
here till
right.
5, so
If you guys, what was I about to say?
I have no idea.
You
What
grabbed the-
I was going to say, what did I take your notes?
No,
Did
no,
I
that's
take your
exactly
show
what I was going
notes?
to say. Thank you. I was going to say, if you guys wanted to check out our raffles,
Don't forget, we have a raffle coming up in just over an hour, and it's for 2 tickets for the Train Depot Ghost Hunt tonight. So get that. Yeah, it's $2 per ticket or 3 for $5. Smoking deal right there. $50 value.
Ooh.
So that's coming up at 3 o'clock, and then 4 o'clock we are raffling off the brand new SB7 Spirit box. Another great value, $5 per ticket or 3 for $10.
Absolutely.
Another smoking deal. It's $100 value. You get for $5.
That's
So.
And then if you guys want to check out the Paps booth here, they are doing a raffle for kind of a ghost hunting basket. They've got a signed book from Debbie Branning in there, Haunted Globe, K2 meter, crystal pendulum and communication board, a grid light, vibration detection balls, and various crystals in there. Those raffle tickets are $1 per ticket, and all of those proceeds go to the Globe Main Street Project. So that'd be really good to check out if you guys are in person. You guys do not need to be here to win that, though. So if you want to head over there and purchase some raffle tickets, you put your phone number on it, and if you win, they will give you a call, and they will get you your winnings.
Sweet. So you don't have to be present to win.
Absolutely.
That's
Which
awesome.
is the best kind of thing.
Yeah,
'cause,
exactly.
I mean, social anxiety.
You never.
No, never. I've had enough caffeine to be social enough. But then I'm going to crash on the way home. You guys are going to be talking. I'm going to be like, no,
Right?
honestly,
She's gone.
I'm
She's
gone, guys.
Hey, don't forget on Monday nights, go check out Entity Voices. They have a great show. They do it with Ronald Waters and Chris and Audra, and it's a lot of fun. We've been
Very
guests on there
entertaining.
before. Also, if you like the paranormal stuff and just kind of stuff, I'll say it out there, watch Papa Joey on The Truth About Beer, and it's always a good show to watch. They have pretty good guests on there. So it's a lot
Absolutely.
of fun to watch.
I may or may not be starting a podcast in the next couple of weeks.
All
which
about
is,
boba.
It's just going to be just me bashing boba left and right. Just telling you the many detailed reasons of why it's horrible. So we hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with us today. We enjoyed hanging out with you. Well, I did. I enjoyed hanging out with myself. I always do. I enjoyed hanging out with
Well,
Keith.
that's kind of selfish.
No. The feeling may not be mutual, but I enjoyed hanging out
we
with
love
Keith.
hanging out with you. Hey, we don't want you to go back to Pennsylvania.
I know. They're all trying to keep me here. My grandmother tried to duct tape me to a chair last weekend.
I'll provide the tape.
Yeah.
I know Lindsay will too. So
You guys are going to keep me hostage. Pop up the easy up in the backyard. Call
Right?
it good.
Here's your new house. So that was a lot of fun out here, guys. We really appreciate you joining us. And
I'm sorry.
squirrel.
Just said, there's no dogs around here
We
right
need
now.
some background music to let Kendra compose herself over here.
I'm just going to clip just this part of the podcast. The Kendra hates boba.
So are you going to start a podcast?
I think I might.
I think you should.
I think I should too. I need to.
It wasn't going to be paranormal though. It was going to be just
It's going to be everything.
everything.
So it'll be. It's going to. Me as a person is so random. So I think the whole
No.
podcast.
Sorry.
I think the whole podcast is just going to be the most random thing ever. A big chunk of my life though is the paranormal. I mean, I've been doing this for 15 years, over half of my life.
Right.
So it is a huge chunk of my life. So that'll definitely be it. I'll get guests on there, and a lot of them will be paranormal. Hopefully, I'm looking at you. You know who you are. When I clip it, they'll know. Get some pretty good guests on there for that. But I've been talking about it for years, and I think it's time, guys.
I think you should. I think
it
you
is
should do it. Just go for broke. Just do it.
Yeah, it's the editing that gets me.
Don't edit it. Screw it. Just do live.
Yeah,
Do it
but
live.
I'm gonna say something really wrong that cannot be out there.
Hey, some of the best episodes we've had in the past have been our live ones. So.
Yeah, but I signed an NDA, so
And on that note, Kendra's going to talk about boba and nothing else.
nothing else.
So,
All right, we will see you guys later. Thank you so much.
Hold on, I'm not ready yet. God, a lot of pressure. You know, you're really tough to work with.
I know. I'm really bossy too.
Plus,
so.
we still have like 30 seconds left. Whatever we got. I can't read it.
40 seconds.
No.
60. Yeah, 40.
What
60 minus
the
20
hell
is
are you
40.
looking at?
I was going off the
Oh.
2 hour mark. We're just see, this is the problem. If we had been live all day, this would be it. Like we would just kind of
We'd be punch drunk by now.
100%.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
So anyway, thanks everybody for joining us. If you're catching us on a rewatch, thank you so much. Go check out all the shows we discussed.
Also, if you're rewatching, please do not DM me pictures of boba. Because I feel like that's something people would do.
Right? You're gonna be in trouble now.
Oh, 100%.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.